So anyway, we can't read any more of these.
Yeah, that was fun, though.
That was fun.
By the way, what's the Epiphonic Innovations? We're here for your sponsorship.
We got some time left. We got plenty of time left. I'm just making sure. So anyway, that was a fun road. So that your comedy,
right? Wow, that took a tangential jump. It's a word.
Yeah.
So they started doing stand-up comedy. Aragona started doing a stand-up comedy, Mike, where I was doing the music stuff.
Yeah.
And
so
during COVID, there's this app, Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So it's just voice and whatever. But I started doing like I wrote kind of more.
For those of you that don't know, Clubhouse is like was like Discord or something like that.
It's voice only. It's like a live podcast.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And but it's voice only.
Yeah.
And
most podcasts are voice only.
Right, but anyone can participate. So like people on this like.
Yeah, I remember this. A couple of companies did some promotional stuff for this where you could talk.
Like Elon Musk was on it a few times.
Elon Musk did it. Yeah.
Kanye got kicked off it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Again, probably for good reason.
Yeah. But so I started. There was this like weekly like poetry room, and it was mostly serious poets. I would go in there and write like a morbid, funny poem and do it, and everyone would crack up. So that when that open mic happened, I was like, fuck it, I'll get on stage and I'll just read one of these.
I like that you went sort of the Salvador Dali abstract approach with comedy, because for any of you who have ever seen Russ's act is extremely unique. Russ's act is extremely unique. So what was it just that? Did anybody I mean, because you were a fan of comedy, did anybody influence you? Like, you have a little bit of Stephen Wright.
I get that a lot, and funny
just a little bit.
Yeah, and because of the deadpan thing, and
which you sell very well.
Thank you. But so I never, I actually was scared to watch. The only thing I had ever seen Stephen Wright in up until literally earlier this week was Guy on the Couch, Half-Baked. And I was
one of the greatest roles ever.
And I was scared to watch Stephen Wright because everyone, like a lot of people, just randomly like, oh, you give off like Stephen Wright vibes or whatever. Someone once called me Stephen Wrong, which I loved. So I was scared to watch his comedy because I was like, shit, this is gonna like influence me or something in the wrong way. I watched it. I was cracking up.
Okay.
And all that I share in common with him is, I do one-liners in deadpan. But
that's all I mean. It's just a
like
piece of it.
Some people are just like, dude, it's like you're ripping Stephen. I'm like, I'm not.
You're not ripping Stephen Wright off. You are that person. Is there anybody else that you draw influence from?
I mean, there's comics that like I love, like.
Well, you can like a comic and not.
But not really.
Like, there's people that directly. I think, especially when people, and I still do this because I've only been doing it 5 years, too. And it's like you start to figure. You have to figure out who you figure out who you are, but you end up not mimicking. And I don't mean mimicking. I mean like sort of in your own way, doing your own version of a comic you admire. You know what I mean? Not necessarily ripping them off, but like maybe a tone. It's in the vein of them until you kind of get your own voice. That's at least what I mean,
that's which is why I was initially scared to watch Stephen Wright stand up.
You're worried about being influenced, and all of a sudden being like.
And then I watched it, and I was like, "What was I so scared of?" And it was hilarious.
Oh, of course.
Just like me. No.
Good Lord. Sorry, Chris.
So I don't like influence. Why I don't really. I kind of just trying to. What?
What's that? Are we at?
No. Just give me a thumbs up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I kind of just try to evolve on my own. So it started with morbid poetry.
Which you still do.
Yeah, sometimes.
Great.
And then it led to, I brought the guitar in and I wrote that, beautiful Make-A-Wish Kid song. No need to go into that.
No, you have to go. I'm not giving away any of this. You have to go see Russ.
And
this crazy act.
And then, so I was just trying random shit. Like I literally,
yeah, that's what you got to do.
One week I literally went to, cause like you saw the weird drawings, like, so one week I drew each part of that like Make-A-Wish Kid song out, and then I went to Walmart and got like blown up gigantic size, like poster board size printouts, and like would like hold them up after like describing each, and I was like, this is gonna be hilarious, and I was no, it was worth a shot.
Yeah,
and
you have to try shit though.
And then eventually, and the first shows I did, like non-open mics, a lot of what I did was improv. Like I would literally be like, have my guitar and be like,
Okay.
give me a word. What's your name? What's your favorite word? No one has a favorite word.
Ah.
So it's just half the time they say fuck. But then I
No
would
one
just,
has a favorite word.
I mean-
it's always just fuck.
a lot of the time it is. But I had nothing
Americans.
prepared. And I
Human
would I would just improvise some random like 30-second thing about whatever they gave me. And it got laughs and it was fun, but
You definitely have an energy.
I realized that I needed actual material. And then I finally started writing like actual like jokes, like as opposed to a song or a poem or whatever.
Yeah.
And like usually during open mics, I don't incorporate the guitar. Well, that's more recent because it's just so that I'm just focusing on, because it is kind of gimmicky. Like, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's also a good elbow rest.
I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm up there.
It's a great elbow rest. It is. For anyone who has bad elbows, get a guitar. You don't need to play it.
So yeah, and I've seen you do your act both ways. It's a funny thing. I've seen you do it with the guitar and without the guitar. What do you like better? I think
All the shows I've done, I've never done a show without it.
Okay.
And I'd say eventually, like, when hopefully at some point I have like a solid like 30 plus minutes of material, then I could see myself starting without it and bringing it on later.
Yeah.
But I also kind of do like the aspect of it just being there, because it just adds something kind of, it throws people in like a weird thought process.
Well, it throws them off a little bit because they have no idea what you're gonna do, and some of the stuff that you do with it is pretty funny, especially if no one's ever seen your shit before. And so I like that aspect to it. It's weird. It's so weird, but it's because I'm always more drawn to like traditional stuff, but at the same time, like you can't, I can't look away from whatever the fuck it is that you're doing every time. So I was like, this is funny because he's just like, you just grows, you just keep doing it, and you're like, this dude's your commitment to the bit is amazing.
And I mean,
That's something that most people don't have. Whatever it is that you have figured out is that your act, you have committed to that 100%. There's no breaking character when you're up there, and I'm like, good for you.
I will crack up sometimes, but when that happens, it's usually like the best part because like it just happens.